All right, welcome back everyone to another deep dive. And today we're going deep on something a little different. We're going to be laser focused on just one sentence,
Okay.
a single motivational quote, and really kind of dig into all the layers of meaning
Uh-huh.
that we could find packed into this one sentence.
I love that idea.
It's amazing to me how much
Yeah.
wisdom and insight can be hidden in plain sight,
Right.
just waiting for us to
Absolutely.
unpack it all. So without further ado, let's hear this powerful sentence.
Okay.
The quote is, "Failure isn't the end, but a valuable lesson that paves the way for your awaited success." So just reading it once through
Yeah.
gives me chills. Like, it's almost defiant.
It is defiant.
Like a refusal to give in.
Yeah.
Just accept defeat. What do you think?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head there. I mean, the sentence really does challenge us to reframe how we think about failure. It's not a full stop. It's more like, well, a comma maybe, a pause, a chance to regroup, gather some valuable intel, and then use that information to course correct and keep moving forward.
I like that. Gather valuable intel
Hmm.
makes failure sound almost strategic.
Right. Like it's part of the plan.
Yeah. But it really is about more than just, saying, oh, well, at least I learned something. It's about actually extracting those insights.
Yeah. It's about being intentional about the learning process.
Okay, so how can we do that?
Well, let's say, for example, you launch a new product and it just tanks.
Oh,
Nobody's buying it. It's a flop. Instead of just throwing in the towel, this sentence encourages us to ask, okay, what happened here? Did I misjudge the market? Was my messaging off? Was there a fatal flaw in the product itself? Each of those questions can lead to some really valuable lessons.
yeah. That reminds me of the whole idea of iterative learning.
Exactly.
In design thinking. You're constantly prototyping, testing,
Oh.
failing, and learning and improving. It's a cycle.
It is.
And this sentence captures that perfectly.
And there's another layer here, too. This quote doesn't just focus on, the learning from failure. It also highlights the emotional journey. It talks about
Yeah.
your awaited success, implying that we're looking forward to it, anticipating it, even yearning for it.
Yeah, I get the whole valuable lesson part.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't there a danger in, romanticizing failure too much?
You bring up a good point. I mean, what about situations where failure has serious consequences? Financial ruin, damaged relationships, those kinds of things.
Yeah, those are real.
Absolutely. And it would be irresponsible to just gloss over that pain. But
Yeah.
this sentence, I don't think, is saying to ignore those feelings. It's more about recognizing them, processing them,
Yeah.
and then finding a way to move forward.
It's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Remember one time I completely bombed a presentation at work.
Oh, no.
I was mortified. But afterwards, I forced myself to really analyze what went wrong. And, it turned out I just hadn't prepared enough. And I was relying way too much on slides instead of really connecting with the audience. It was a harsh lesson. But it totally changed how I approach presentations now.
And that's the power of this sentence, right? It's about turning a negative experience into fuel for future growth. It's about cultivating a mindset that views challenges, even painful ones, as opportunities to learn and grow.
This idea of awaited success is interesting, too. What do you think it says about how we view success itself?
Well, it raises a good question. Is success a destination or a journey? This sentence seems to lean towards the journey.
Okay.
It suggests that success is something we're always working towards. It's an ongoing process, not a one-time event.
And it definitely pushes back against that instant gratification mentality.
For sure. This sentence reminds us that real success usually involves some detours, some roadblocks, maybe even a few flat tires along the way.
Right. But we keep going.
We do.
We learn, we adapt, and eventually we reach our destination.
Think about any groundbreaking invention or successful company. It's rarely a straight shot to the top. Take James Dyson, for example.
Yep.
He created over 5,000 prototypes of his vacuum cleaner before he finally got it right. 5,000. Each one a failure in its own right, but each one also a step closer to success.
So for our listeners out there today, you've got this powerful sentence: failure isn't the end, but a valuable lesson that paves the way for your awaited success. How can they take this and actually apply it in their own lives?
Well, it all starts with a shift in perspective. When you encounter a setback, don't just dwell on the negative emotions, although those are important to acknowledge. Instead, ask yourself, what specific lessons can I learn from this experience? How can I adjust my approach moving forward?
So much wisdom in one sentence. Really enjoyed unpacking this one with you today.
too.
From reframing failure to defining success, it's given us a lot to think about.
And as you continue on your journey, remember this. How can this perspective on failure empower you to embrace challenges and pursue your goals with greater resilience?
That's a great question. Something for everyone to consider. Until next time, keep diving deep.